Good morning, welcome to Zwift number 37. This is stage 3 of the Zwift Games, downtown Eruption. 19.9 kilometres in distance, 275 metres in incline. This is certainly not a route that's going to suit my riding ability. I am not a climber. There's a lot of climbing involved in this, over numerous inclines, long inclines, not just undulating landscape. So yeah, it was going to be a tricky one. Came out of the pen and made the effort to get close to the front, but wanted to just take it nice and easy, really, because I knew within half a kilometre we were going to have a very sharp incline to start off with, and I didn't want to burn all my matches before I'd even done a kilometre or two. So you can see average watts for me is down in the 220s here. You go underneath the bridge and up and around the loop, and it's a climb. Now when the mini map comes up, here it comes, you can see the blue section in the middle. Now that is, when I watched somebody else doing this ride a couple of days ago, I thought, gosh, this is going to be long and intense. But on this first loop round, you actually only do half of it. So this blue section that's coming up is going to be where we turn right and head off along the flats. So looking at this mini map, you can potentially panic a little bit, but that's not the case. We do this the second time round, and we do go left at the top of second time round, and then it is a big effort to get around. So you can currently see them in 70th position. I'm up at the seat at the moment. I am putting in quite a few watts because I'm nice and fresh. Here's the flat section I was talking about, but you can see from the mini map how stretched out we all are. There was around about 190 riders in the race who put themselves down to start. I don't think that many certainly didn't finish the race. So yeah, just watch how we get on. Just objective as we came down the hill was to try and catch hold of the tail of these riders in front, so that I could use their draft and take advantage of that. You can see how we're all spread out. I think for me it was going to be a situation of survival where I would just try and conserve as much energy as possible by trying to get into the draft of other riders. So we'll see how that pans out. You can see that, like I said, we're all spread out considerably, and we're going to do about the next 6 kilometres, I think, on relatively flat sections. I think this section here I put a little blast in as well. So yeah, you can see 450, 550 watts, just to try and catch hold of the groups in front, which I was able to do. So you can see my positions improved greatly just going up that slight incline there, and I'm just trying to look for a bigger group where the drafting effects will be better. So I was looking for riders to catch hold of, like I said, and you can see on the mini map loads of different groups, probably more riders in front than behind. That group of around 6 riders have just shot past me, and I've missed the opportunity of getting hold of their tails. So it looks like it's going to be quite a individual ride where I'm not able to group up with anybody, but there's a few more riders coming up behind, as you can see them on the mini map here now. But what seems to be happening is riders are going past me at considerable speed, so not always able to grab hold of them. At this point it does look a little bit better that I can catch hold of this group, and we've got about 15 of us here now riding as we go into the volcano. So there's around about 15 of us here now. There's a group who are 2 seconds ahead. They were 3 seconds ahead of us a short while back, and you can see that if we are able to catch hold of that group in front, we will be a considerably large group. But probably the fact that we're just about to start climbing, here we go, it's going to just split us all up. You can see that I put a bit of power in here just to get over that first slight hump, but as we start climbing, I'm in 95th position, so just keep an eye on that position. So I'm right at the back of this group. I'm having more people go past me than I'm able to overtake. I don't think I'm overtaking anybody actually as we're going up the hill. I'm spinning a little bit quicker. I've increased my cadence in an attempt to not use too much power and effort, but just to spin instead. But at this point you can see that I've been distanced from the 20 or so riders in front. If you look at the mini map in the top right hand corner, you can see just loads and loads of yellow dots where everyone is just strung out massively. So let's see how this goes. You can't really tell from the mini map who is close to me. You can see from the positions on the right hand side. I've got the Dupuy, a couple of seconds behind and catching quickly, and then the Roges, he's also catching. There goes one rider, and that is just the tale of what happens as we go forward. There's a flat here. I don't actually think I change gear and get into my biggest gear so that I can power. I just keep spinning here. So there's a half dozen riders going past me here now, but I try and catch hold of them. But you know, with us going up a hill, you can see my speed at the moment. We're on a flat section, it's 30 mile an hour, but when we start going up again, there's going to be no drafting when we're going like 15, 20 miles an hour. So as you can see, we start to go up this second section. There's around about half a dozen riders who've already gone past me here. I put a bit of a burst in just to keep hold of their tails, but that's probably not going to last for too long. I'm back in 113th position now, so from the start of the climb up the volcano, I've lost 20 positions. I'm starting to look at the positions on the right hand side, and you can see I'm 116th at the moment, and I'll pick out a name, A. Picard from France. His name's just dropped off the back of the screen, but I think he was around about, there he is, 25 seconds behind here. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that so you can get an understanding of how fast people are climbing compared to myself, because people just seem to be going past me here. Massey was somebody who I did see quite a lot of in the orange jacket in front of me, and I did spend some time riding quite close to him, so that was quite encouraging. But you know what, I'm still always going to be in a situation that I'm not going to climb as well as other people around me. I do always think that, you know, I don't climb as quickly as them, but when I'm going down the hills, my weight should be an advantage, and I should push ahead of them, but it doesn't work out like that. So as we start the last section up to the top, and it's been quite sustained all the way up with incline after incline. You can see the other riders at the start of the race going past us, going back down the hill, which I will be doing shortly. Um, there's A Picard now. He's just 10 seconds behind, so he's already caught 15 seconds on me, and you can see that the times will come down even further as we reach the top. But I put a little bit of a blast in. I'm hoping to catch hold of somebody's tail so that I can use the benefits of their drafting as we come back down the hill. So that's why you can see a bit of power going on there, up over 400 watts, and riding with Bailey and Drews. So let's see if that continues. I'm looking for A Picard's name behind me. I can't see it at the moment, so there's still probably around about 10 riders between him and me. I'm actually checking to see if he's gone ahead of me because I can't see him at all now, and there's riders there who are a minute behind. But that's probably complicated by the fact that there's riders going the opposite way. So here we are going back down the hill now, and we've got 4 riders with us. So as we go down, I'm experimenting a little bit. You can see that my watts is completely on 0. And as I say that, I start pedaling again, and this is the experimenting that I was doing. I wanted to see if I could keep hold of the tails of the riders that I was riding with, but still not do put any effort in at all. But that didn't really materialise, so I had to pedal from time to time. Here you go again, 0 watts. Can I just sit on the back of these 2 riders and just ride down with them? There's E Massey again. I did say that he popped up from time to time, and I was able to ride close to him. I think shortly here we go, zip through different riders and see who's out at the front. And this just gives you an idea of how the group was just completely spread out. Everybody's just riding in 4s and 5s. There are some bigger groups towards the front. There's one of around about 15 riders, but we're up to the top 40 now, and there's just various different people riding on their own, and that's just the effect of the climbs and how people just split on the climb. So there's a group of around about 14 people at the front, currently riding there with second place, but fast forward into first place Jay Throbbo, who had a lead of around about 25 seconds, which was very impressive. So when I zoom back to myself, I've been distanced from 2 riders who I was riding with because once again I'm not able to be aware of the power that I'm doing currently with the group that I'm riding whilst I'm off the screen. So E Massey's now 6 seconds ahead of me, and would have liked to have stayed with them and used the draft with them as we come back down the hill. We're almost at the bottom now and just going to ride along the flat. 5 kilometres to go, but that real big steep incline to finish off. So what I've been doing over the last few seconds is just going through all the various groups again. I was very aware that I wasn't going to smash any records or, finish in a really, really positive position. So I thought I would take the opportunity to film all the different riders. So that was just an attempt to see where the leader was, and he'd just gone through the town. So he had about 2 kilometers to go. So I panned back to myself for a little bit, and again at the same time got distance again from that group that I was riding with, which is disappointing. So there's a Picard. He's actually 35 seconds behind me, so that's completely contradicted what I was talking about. Maybe he's a heavier rider as well, and he will also struggle with the inclines. But you can see my position now is 128th, so I dropped from 95th at the start of the volcano, so lost over 30 positions climbing, and probably a considerable amount of time. So here we go, third attempt at going through the groups so that I can film everybody else. Yeah, they're coming through the town now, so they've only probably got about 2 kilometers to go. When you follow the other riders, it doesn't give you as good an understanding as you need. It's tricky to work out how far they are into the ride, so I do it by looking at their positions on the position data there on the right hand side, and you can see that I'm following Jay Trobo, and fortunately he's just about to come up to the finish line, which I knew was at 19.9 kilometers. So he's leading by 19 seconds at this point. So then we've zoomed back to see Strand and a couple of riders around him, and there's a bit of a blast for second place. And then I try and just work through as many riders as possible here. So if you're watching on YouTube, there's Jay Romero, and just try to film as many riders as possible, because I know some people do like to watch themselves riding. It's certainly probably what's inspired me to do the YouTube videos is being part of Matt King's videos many months ago. Nice to see that Matt King is riding from time to time again now after taking quite an extended break from Zwift. But yeah, so just zooming through all the different riders now. I think I'll get confused here, and I've picked up riders going the wrong direction back, so therefore I go back to myself, and then we're going back up the hill again, trying to get back up to some of the riders who are going to go over the finish line. So I'll have to apologise, I've probably missed a few in that gap there. But back to some of the riders. Sorry, I was going to try and pick a name out then, but they E or A. Yeah, so back to 80th position. So I'll pick up myself here. I was 123rd, wasn't I? But with me doing all of this scrolling through, my pace has completely dropped off. I also thought I was about to reach the top at one point because I felt no resistance on my pedals as I was pedaling, but that was just where I got to the flat section in the middle of this incline. So yeah, hopefully you will spot yourself on here, and you will appreciate the effort I've tried to go to try and get other riders in rather than just focusing on myself. Because what I was thinking about as I was doing this was that it's everybody's individual journey, it's everybody's goals to improve their own ability. We're not all trying to win the races, we're just trying to improve our own goals. So I went into this race struggling, thinking that I wasn't going to do well, and that was obviously the case. But, Jay Simpson, I don't know, I'm just guessing. Have they done a personal best going up this hill? They must have achieved some goals. So it's all about what you get out of it for yourself. And that's why at the end of the race, I focused on the rider who was right at the back, because that must apply for them. Everybody has set their own goals as to what they want to achieve during this race, and many of the riders will have achieved something. For me personally, it's been a tricky week this week. I've got two parents who are currently in hospital. My father has had to go in for an emergency operation, so that has stopped me from being on Zwift as much as I would have liked. But obviously I wanted to be with him whilst he was in A&E and then having his operation. And then also my mother-in-law is also just been admitted into hospital as well, so we've been dealing with that as a family. So that was part of the reason why I wanted to ride this. I knew I wasn't going to do well, but I just wanted to ride, and I wanted to get something out of just being able to get on the bike and ride. So here, that was me just crossing the line, back in 148th position in the end. There we go, getting my rewards. But then we just still zoomed through the rest of the riders. I think there was around about 170 riders who completed the race in the end, and what you will be able to see is the person who came over the finish line in the final position. But again, like I just said, achieving their own goals. So here they are, about the last 10 riders. Here's A. Mackenzie coming up to the finish line, putting a bit of sprint in, followed closely by M. Mark, and then just around about the final 10 riders, M. Thompson, I believe, was the last rider to cross the finish line. And, obviously we've all set our own targets for the race, and it's been intense, it's been tough, but hopefully people have made some improvements, which is what it's all about. And hopefully we can all be back again soon for another ride. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Numbers are going up, so that's good. Get 1 or 2 new subscribers after every video, so that's nice. And some nice comments as well regarding the commentary and what I'm saying. So yeah, slightly different video today, just focusing on all the other riders rather than myself, because I do think it's a lot about what we can all achieve. So catch you all again soon. Cheers. Bye.